Hey everybody, this is Jen from Frugal Upstate and welcome to my final wrap-up post about the Walmart 7th Generation Sustainability Challenge. So I've gone through 4 weeks and I just finished up my last week in which I tried to see about conserving fossil fuels with my family. In some ways this was a really easy challenge this week and in some ways it was a hard one. It was easy in that we didn't have to worry about using any fuel oil because we haven't turned our furnace on for the winter yet. So right there, saved a ton of money. Well, not only money, but also we save the environment by not using fossil fuels. And we wait as long as possible to turn on our furnace in the fall, which again conserves fossil fuels. One of the things that we do to conserve money in our house on the heating bill is that we have installed baseboard electric heat in both the children's room and in our room upstairs, and those are on programmable thermostats. And that was an initial cost, but now in the winter, they're programmed to come on a little bit before we wake up, heat up the room for a little while, and then shut off about the time that we leave our bedrooms for the day, and to do likewise in the evening right before bedtime just to heat up the room temperature. In that way, we're just using a little bit of energy. Where we are, it's a cost savings because we are on a village electric co-op, which saves us a lot of money, but also it prevents us from using fossil fuels. We are looking into this year the idea of purchasing a pellet stove and being able to use a pellet stove to help heat the house as well as auxiliary heat to the furnace. So that should again help us save fossil fuels. So that was kind of a false savings this week because we weren't really using it yet. The other big place in order to save on fossil fuels is of course the automobile. And in some ways that's easy, in some ways that's hard where I am. I live in a village, very much like Mayberry, I always tell people, and there are sidewalks and there are certain things that are available in town. And I do frequently walk to the library, we walk to church on Sunday in good weather. I can walk down into the hardware store and to the drugstore and a few of those things. The problem is that everything else is over half an hour away. So I can't walk to the grocery store. Well, there's a little tiny grocery store in town, but that barely counts. I have to walk. I have to really drive to get to the grocery store that I would use for most of my purchases. So the way that I go about conserving fuel costs anyway is that I try to limit the amount of trips that I take into town, and I try to do as many errands on those trips as possible so that I'm only using the car for a long drive about once a week or less if possible. So I don't think I really was able to change anything there. I just continued my good habits, and I really considered when I was using the car whether or not I could walk. I'd say the biggest challenge about trying to use walking or bicycling or anything like that instead of using a vehicle is that you have to factor in additional time. And in today's very hectic society, we rarely leave that time. So that's, I'd say overall, I probably got about a B on the Conserving Fossil Fuel Challenge. So that wrapped up my entire 4-week challenge. I talked about saving electricity in the house. We talked about light bulbs and things like that. We talked about increasing the indoor air quality by airing out the house. We talked about reducing the amount of chemicals you use in your home. We talked about conserving fossil fuels, a lot of interesting things. I would say overall that this was a very interesting challenge. Recycling too. We talked about recycling. So I really tried hard to go beyond what I already thought were pretty good habits and really look at the rest of my life and see if there are places where I can kind of perform tune-ups. I'll admit some of the things I did on this challenge I won't necessarily do every day, but it's really gotten me thinking. You know, the things like replacing the CF bulbs, that's something that's, now that it's done, we will continue to replace until they're all replaced, and then we will have that as an ongoing savings. You know, I really will think about, honestly, and this isn't just because they're in the challenge, I really like the 7th generation cleaning products, and even though they're a little more expensive, I probably will continue to purchase those at Walmart once the ones I was given for this challenge run out, because I really do like the way they work, and I really like the smell of them better, honestly. I like the idea that I'm not putting, you know, extra crud into our household environment. So it's been a great challenge. I think it's been very interesting. I've loved watching the other women in the challenge. Sheena from Sophistishe, Jennae at Décor, Monica at MommyBrain reports. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but all the women who've been participating with me, I really love going to their blogs and checking out and seeing, because we've each taken such a different view on how to implement this challenge. So thanks for following along with me. I really want to say thank you to Walmart and to 7th Generation, not only for challenging me and you know, providing compensation for my providing these videos and the posts, but for getting me kind of off my keister into looking into some more things that I could be doing, because it was a really good way to kind of force me to look at this stuff. So I really appreciate it. Take some time. I'll list at the bottom of this post and hopefully in the description on YouTube, not only my own links back to the entire challenge, but also to the other ladies who participated. So check them out and have a great day.